Welcome back to another episode of the Junk Monkeys podcast, your bi-weekly Damn it!
Cut.
Damn it!
Randy, what's going on?
Listen, man, it's been a tough week.
I sent you 3 texts about getting the intro right.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on
Hey,
it.
if you could just not mess up your script, that'd be great.
If you could lock in for a second, please. God, you amateur. Welcome back to
I was out for you.
That's out of pocket, bro. Absolutely not. Oh man, Dan's gonna have a fucking a gold mine of things to play around with for this intro.
He loves this.
Yeah.
Shit.
Welcome. All right, I'm locking in. Here we go. Welcome back to the Junk Monkeys podcast, your bi-weekly. Fuck, why can't I do this?
I don't know, Red. Maybe Noah should try today.
Welcome back to the Junk Monkeys podcast, your bi-weekly connection through conversation. It took us 12 tries to get that.
Yeah, we got there eventually.
Yeah, boys. I'm your host, Randy McLeod. I'm joined by Noah Garbutt.
Hello.
And Bradley Gertzen.
Hey, guys.
And today we are talking about the gym. We're talking about working out. We're hitting the I was going to say the links. That's golf.
Hell yeah.
Hitting iron, pumping iron.
Pumping iron.
Honestly, we're just going to have a candid conversation about hey,
how many times have we fallen off?
Exactly. And we're going to discuss the ebbs and flows of the gym, working out, the benefits, the pros, the cons, all that fun stuff. Really excited to get into it with you guys. We're kind of chiller vibe today. A lot of us are pretty eepy, a little tired guys.
I took a nap before this.
I love that for you. I love that for you.
Yeah, it was a nice 30-minute.
Oh, must
Nice.
be nice.
Too long.
Must be nice.
Post-nap podcast with Brad.
No, it's
Podcast
pre-nap.
with Brad, yeah.
Or
Nope.
It might be pre-nap.
Post-nap?
Who knows? Maybe I will.
So, without further ado, let's get into the show right after this fun little intro bit for the Junk Monkeys podcast. Welcome back to the Junk Monkeys podcast. Like I said in the intro there, we're a little lower vibe today, but I kind of like it because the last episode, I was listening back to it. Bro, I was fucking hyperactive.
Everybody was just
was just we were just vibing and having almost too much. We were so unhinged. So I think today's going to be a really chill one. I think it's going to be an interesting conversation, and I think we're going to have a good time. With that being said, we're going to get into housekeeping super quick. First of all, Operation Get Ran to San Fran is actually, I have an update.
Oh?
I have an update.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of funny. The 11-person entertainment group based in San Francisco who is having an opportunity to fly somebody out for an up-and-comer program. And you can find the Google Doc to nominate me for that in the description below. Could you imagine if I just did all that and been yeah, they chose somebody else? No.
Next time. We'll get them next time.
Yeah, we'll get them next time.
Round 2.
No, they had a town hall meeting where they were talking about some programming changes and stuff like that. And somebody asked, hey, are you guys still doing the up-and-comer project? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. That's still happening this year. We're just compiling stuff and working on it.
Sweet. Okay.
So the dream is still alive, guys.
Dream's still there.
Operation is still in effect.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Rand still could get to San Fran.
We could still get Rand to San Fran.
Eventually.
We'll drive them down there if we need to.
Bro, I would go in a heartbeat.
Yeah, why
Us
not?
road tripping down to San Fran?
And I would road trip.
How expensive do you think a taxi from Brandon, Manitoba to San Francisco would
You
be?
couldn't pay anybody
I heard
to make that
I
trip.
heard a story about somebody who taxied to Winnipeg.
No way.
It's like $400.
Jesus.
Honestly, that's less than I expected.
Yeah, it's apparently
From
it's not
Brandon
terrible.
to Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not worth it.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not worth it.
No.
But
I thought it would be more.
yeah, I thought it would be more too.
I thought there was a shuttle system.
Used to be. Greyhound.
Okay.
There probably still is, I
Yeah.
imagine.
Oh,
Right?
I wonder what happened.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh, no. It remains a mystery. Second thing, this is actually some really fun, exciting stuff, and it kind of leads into our conversation today and what we might get into. But I have a new thing, and I know housekeeping
New
apparently is
thing.
just all about Rand.
I've seen the
I
script.
love new things.
I seen the outline you sent out. It was like ran.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
You know, obviously cooking with Rand, a huge success.
Yep.
We all got to agree. Like it's just going so well.
Those cookies were
I get at
banging.
least 2 likes on each story,
Let's
so that's not
fucking
bad.
go,
One
man.
from
I
mom.
should download Instagram again just to like your
I
stories.
appreciate that. I
I
appreciate
might
that.
do that.
That's not what I'm here to talk about, though. I'm keeping the branding, though.
Right.
Recently, we launched Hiking with Rand.
Mhm.
That was a nice little hike. I went with Christopher at the Sandhills. Yep. It's not the casino. What the
No.
fuck am I talking
It
about?
was
Devil's
Sand-
Punch Bowl.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Spirit Sands. Anyway, so we've decided to keep with the branding. Running with Rand.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Gentlemen and listeners, I have registered for the Manitoba Half Marathon in Winnipeg
Hey, yo.
Ooh.
on
let's go.
June 16th. The only reason I'm bringing this up is not like hey, I'm bragging, look at me, I'm going to run a half marathon.
Look at me, I'm so healthy.
Oh boy, my knees hurt so much. I'm only bringing this up because I wanted to use this podcast as a bit of as a way, or as an avenue to do some good. This marathon, when you register, it sets you up with a donation link, so people can go and donate, like contribute to my misery
Mhm.
of running this half marathon.
Hell yeah.
For the United Way in Winnipeg.
Nice.
So it's like a pledge.
Yeah, it's a pledge thing. So you can just like pledge to be like, hey, Ran, here's $20 for,
You can do it.
and it all goes to United Way. None of it goes to me.
Good.
So yeah,
You don't deserve any of it
you're right.
for all that
You're
work.
goddamn right. It cost me $150 to
Suffer.
register for
To
this thing.
register? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's for charity.
Yeah.
so.
For a good cause.
So I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna put that link in the description for until I run this thing. I just set a modest goal of $250. We'll see if we hit that.
Right.
If we do, great. If we don't, I'm still gonna run it. So
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
Just gonna run it.
Shit.
Actually, you know what? I should hold it hostage. Be like, unless you guys show up,
I'm not running
this thing.
unless.
I only run for $250.
Don't get out of bed for anything less.
Exactly. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. We're gonna do some good. We're gonna raise some money.
Okay.
Help some
Yeah.
people out. Donation link is in the description. Guys, enough about me. Let's talk about the gym.
Talk about the gym.
Absolutely.
I love gym.
Actually, Brad, I kind of
Sure,
want to start with you, to
Sure.
be honest, because
Let's
when I was putting together this doc, I was like, man, when I think Gertson, I think gym.
That's
Like-
because Mike's a monster.
No,
at the gym.
both of you though.
We
Like
both go
obviously
to the gym a
Mike,
lot.
like we'll talk about Mike later when we get to like who inspires us, but like
Rest in peace.
rest in peace, obviously. Like
R.I.P.,
his
yeah.
memory just keeps me going.
100%.
You know? Anytime I'm,
It's inspiring.
it
That's
really
what it
is.
is, yeah.
It really is. But anyway, Brad. No, I wanted to. My opening salvo question is basically like, to get into your journey. How many times have you fallen off the gym?
Oh, wow. probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 4 or 5 times. I feel like I get into the gym hard for a while, and then I'll fall off for another long while because I'm like, obviously I got into that stage of life just now where it's like life changes every 8 months.
Yeah.
Like I'm hitting summer or I'm starting a new job or school starts or whatever.
Yeah.
But now I'm out of that, so I don't know. Hopefully I can do it more consistently and for longer. But yeah, I mean I've fallen off plenty of times. It's not
Okay.
easy to stay on.
It's tricky, right?
It really is,
Yep.
yeah. I feel like you get going, and then the commitment of an hour or so, it kind of is hard to fit in some days.
And it's so wild. And I'm glad you brought up like the commitment of an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna, yeah.
One of my favorite things that you actually brought up to me one
Mhm.
time that I've like has really stuck in my mind of
Right.
like, bro, like as long as you go,
Mm-hmm.
you could be there for 20 minutes. You could be there for 40 minutes.
100%.
You could be there for an hour and a half.
Could be there for fucking 5 minutes.
You could.
And it doesn't matter.
You literally could just go hit the treadmill and then be like, cool, signing off.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
But going and actually like it's like how do I put it? It's like building a bridge.
Yeah.
In that like no matter how little effort or how much effort you put in,
It's
progress
still-
is being
yeah.
made.
100%.
That
You're
bridge
still-
is work.
You're still
getting
going
worked on.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's consistency in showing up, not consistency in effort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
100%.
So, to follow up on that, like when you hit these points of like, man, I'm going hard on this right now.
Right, yeah.
Is it because you finally find yourself with time, or is it more of a self-motivation, like I gotta get going on this?
I think it's both. I think, like, when I don't have time, I start to self-motivate. Or, like, when I do have time, I start to self-motivate a lot.
Mhm.
And I, like, start, like, oh, I gotta go and do this now. But generally, yeah, it's, like, inspiration. And then obviously as like those first 2-3 weeks of going to the gym, you're like, yeah, we're going, and then it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not even 2-3 weeks. It's like fourth day, like by 2-3
Totally.
weeks, yeah. Which is normal, I think, for anything, for work, for everything. It's like you got to get past that little hump.
It's habit forming, man.
Mhm.
Like it's difficult to like. I think there's always like those studies that are like it takes 28 days for you to
Yeah.
form a habit or something like
Yeah,
that, and
yeah.
it has to be like consistent and blah blah
Says
blah blah.
that.
blah. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and then showing up shows. You got to just show up and get stuff done at the end of the day.
That's such a. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's such a like
Gertson.
post NHL like talking to the coaches like quote.
like post talk.
That's such a
No, we
Leonard
just gotta,
Kennedy.
we just gotta
baby.
get pucks in
yeah,
net,
we gotta.
and,
You just gotta
gotta
show
dump
up.
'em down
You
and
just gotta
show
show
up,
up and put in the work.
Gotta put in the work. Yeah, I had a
We'll get
train-
them next time. We'll get them next time.
Yeah, I mean, I lost the train of thought.
No,
What
that's
was-
okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's all good. I like the interruptions. It usually gives me time to think, but then I was just thinking about the interruption. And now I don't know.
That's okay. I can shoot to Noah if you want.
Yeah, sure, shoot to know.
Mr. Garbutt.
Hello.
So you are. I remember. Like, let me take you back. Working at PV Mart,
Take me back
Yes.
now, yeah.
and I'm working there, and I'm like, you know what? Working here is enough of a workout for me to stay in shape. In quotes,
Right.
like it's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I distinctly remember I'm sitting in the break room. Noah's closing up. He comes back there. He's like, "You guys can go." He's wearing a t-shirt,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "Garbutt, why are your arms absolute pythons? What's going on?" He's like, "Yeah, I've been going to the gym."
Motherfucking python.
Absolutely, bro. Like Trey Trunks. And like that was a moment where I was like, man, like PV's not enough. Like hitting the gym, that's where it's at. So if I may ask, what's your process? Like what's your fall off history?
I'm currently falling off.
Okay.
I've probably fallen off. I want to say around 3 times, but at the same time, I also haven't tried going nearly as many times. Like-
Throughout your life.
Throughout my life.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I've only ever tried going to the gym. I started actually doing it a lot more after high school and stuff, and
Mhm.
it was still a significant amount of time after high school. Started going to Jamie George's
Yeah.
for a bit.
Shout out Jamie George.
Shout out to Jamie George. Fell off of that, and then my dad, who is a Facebook Marketplace wizard, ended up purchasing all of this workout equipment because my younger brothers were also wanting to work out, and we have an open basement at my parents' house, so he transformed it, like
That's
foam
sick.
floor, everything,
That's nice.
and got a ton of stuff in there, and I got back into it then, and I was probably consistent for probably 8 months, which was the longest stint at the time.
Mhm.
Yeah. I feel like especially hitting those long stints, like you start to realize that once it's a habit, you can actually just do it without losing a whole lot of energy.
Well,
in
and I
your
think
day.
the thing that makes it so easy is when it's nearby,
Yeah, when it's
Yep.
in your house.
when it's
Convenient. When
when
it's
it is
convenient.
accessible.
Yep.
And then obviously moved away and
To New Zealand.
to New Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah,
So this was pre-New Zealand.
pre-New Zealand, and then I got back into it briefly after New Zealand, not for the same amount of time or anything.
Yeah.
And then moved into Brandon and got a membership at the YMCA, which I've had since I've moved in.
Okay.
But I have been falling off for the past year now.
Okay.
And I only just went back, I think it was about 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
once.
Nice.
And it's kind of, it definitely feels like it's the beginning step again.
Right.
Like you're not, when I was going before to the YMCA, like I had a app on my phone that was tracking all my progress, had all the weights that I was using.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, like I'll lower a couple of these weights and everything when I go back. I had to lower them so much.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
It is, and it is just that process of getting back into it, getting the proper form,
Mhm.
and then recognizing that form in a lot of cases is more important than the actual weight that you're
100%,
moving.
yeah.
And the amount of soreness I had after
Oh,
that,
yeah.
after that first
Oh,
day,
baby.
Yeah.
oh, it hits you like a truck.
Yep.
100%. Especially because the first day you go back, you push yourself so hard because
Oh yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm hyped on this, and
Yeah.
then it's your body's like, brother.
Homie,
It's
we
like,
gotta
we're-
slow it down.
We're not that. We're not.
We
that
ain't what we
anymore.
used to be.
No.
But that's definitely been one of the biggest barriers is the accessibility of it.
Yeah.
Like I live in downtown Brighton. Like, I am not far away from the YMCA.
Totally.
But after work, that feels like a mountain to get there.
That drive, that 50, yeah, it's a fucking...
Like, after 8 hours of work, the motivation is not there. It's
there
in the morning, and when you're at work and everything, you're just like, oh, as soon as I'm done work, like, I'm gonna do my whole workout. I'm gonna be there for an hour and a half and everything. Yeah. You get home, you sit on the couch, and it's like,
no,
not today. Not today.
That's where that just showing up thing can help. Where it's like, just do that drive, because when that drive comes easy, being there is like getting there isn't the problem anymore.
And there's actually so many different points that you just brought up that I want to jump off of, but like, I totally feel what you're saying in terms of like, I've had to very much. So I'll jump off of what you were saying about falling off and then trying to get back on the horse, as it were. Like, I fell off because of exams, and I was like, okay, I can't go to the gym right now. I got to focus on studying for exams and stuff like that. And it was only last week that I finally started getting back into the gym after like a 3-week hiatus. And brother, when I look at my notes app of like, hey, these are like what you're hitting right now, like for your exercises, I try to do any of those. I was like, no, we're going down 10 pounds, we're going down 15 pounds.
100%.
Like, yeah.
It gets easier though, like especially because you've already done it.
Yeah.
So your body comes accustomed to it, so it's a lot shorter time.
Yes, I have found every time that I've fallen off, when I get back, I progress much easier and faster at the start, where I get back to where I ended much quicker.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I brought up that Brad told me about, like, just show up. The piece of advice that you gave me that, like, has really stuck in my brain is that, like, it's kind of almost like a pun, but it's muscle memory in that, like, that Herculean task, or like that the Sisyphus, like, rolling that ball up the hill again, it's so much easier like, despite the fact that, like, I remember, I'll give you an example. I've fallen off the gym quite a few times.
Right.
So when I first started college, Riley had classes, I think, at 8:30, and my class didn't start till 10. So I had an hour and a half of basically just like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go to the gym here. Yeah. So I do that, doing fine. Exams hit in the winter. I'm like, okay, I got to stop. And immediately I look in the mirror. I'm like, all of my gains are gone. Gains is in, like, not even like muscle mass or anything like that. Just like,
even just how you perceive yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I look at that. I'm like, nah, like, this isn't worth it. This is not worth it. Like, like going 3 times a week and then losing it in a week because of exams. No, that's not worth it. So I stopped. And it's that mindset thing again. But
especially when it comes down to that stuff, like how you perceive yourself. Yeah. It's so skewed. It is
extremely
so skewed against you. Your perceived vision of yourself is never going to be what you want it to be in your head.
Yeah. And again, like, I'll give you a very recent example. Like, my goal lately has been to gain weight. I've been working towards, last fall I'd gotten, like, really bad in terms of, like, I'd got down to 150, and I know, like, when we talk about this, please take it with a grain of salt. Right. Like, I'm not complaining that I weigh whatever weight I am. Right. It's just like, I have a goal that I would like to hit.
100%.
So anyway, with that out of the way, like, it's very much, I would like to get to 175. That is my goal.
Nice.
And I began, when I was jogging back in the fall last year, I was, like, down to 150. I'm like, oh, that's actually not good, because I've been 155 my entire fucking life.
It's like, oh, this isn't, like, regular. All of a sudden, it's like there's a extreme.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Way. Yeah, for sure.
And, like, there was a lot of factors going into that, but, like, so basically I had my little hiatus, like, these last 3 weeks, and I was like, man, I had just broken 160, and I was like, I was so bummed because I was so dreading hopping on the scale at the gym, because I don't have a scale at home.
Right.
And I was so terrified of, like, I was going to go down there and be like, oh, it's 155 or 156. I'm like, no!
Yeah.
I get in there, it's still 160. If anything, it's 161. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay.
It comes down to the eating, for sure. If you maintain your calories, you're not going to lose it.
That's absolutely a big part of it, too, is, like, man, I've had to adjust my diet so much.
That's where I'm at right now. I've started trying to, I'm maybe not hitting the gym as much, but I'm trying to fix my nutritional habits, in a sense. My goal, so I set up these goals for, like, the next 6 months, and it's like, oh, save money, blah, 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 blah. And one of them is to when I eat, every time I eat the goal is to feel full.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes I'll eat and I'll know like I'm satiated, like I will be energized by this food, but I need to push it past more often.
Sure.
Because I'm also trying to gain weight.
Man, the amount of times and we can totally have a conversation about diet, but like
Mm-hmm.
the amount of times that I'll eat what I perceive as a meal, not be full from it, but I'll be like, but the plate's empty, so I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I've had my portion or whatever.
Right.
Like last night I just like loaded up on pasta and garlic bread.
Yeah.
And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I didn't finish all of it, but I was very much just like, I gotta eat more. Like,
Yeah.
And it can be exhausting.
It can be.
Yeah.
That's honestly, like losing weight is very hard. Gaining weight is also very, very hard
Yeah.
to do. To try and just shove food down your gullet consistently
Yeah.
is like really, really, really
And I'm
hard.
really bad for like trying
Sometimes.
to snack. Like
Mhm.
I don't snack that often, and I've had to really adjust that. I'm like, okay, like bro, before you go to work, you're cutting up an apple and you're bringing peanut butter. Like you gotta
Yeah.
eat.
And
Like
those little 200, 300 calorie snacks go a long way.
Totally.
Yeah, when it comes to diet, I have gone through a lot of change. Not so much for the sake of gym, but more just for like overall bodily health.
Yeah.
Sake
like
of you,
I'm trying to move away from like just a plate full of pasta
Sure.
that I'm making for myself or eating an entire box of KD
Yeah.
by myself.
Yeah.
I find that I'm starting to be a lot more conscious.
Conscious.
That's
Yeah.
the word. Yep. Of sugars.
Oh really?
Okay. Cook it up, man, for sure.
Yeah.
I like that.
My family has a history of
Ketchup.
Of ketchup.
Yes.
We've heard.
Lots of sugar
A
in
lot
it.
of sugar and ketchup.
But no, actually, of like
I don't know.
There's probably some sugar.
Oh,
in ketchup, right?
there is quite a bit of sugar in ketchup.
Is there really?
I think so.
It's an acid. Like there's
It
a lot
is
of
a- it's
acid in that
acidic,
bad
yeah.
boy, but yeah.
Yeah. But no, my family has a history of diabetes. So
Oh.
sugar is always something
Yeah.
that like my dad has to be super conscious of. Like he has to watch his sugar levels,
Right.
and like so do majority of my uncles,
Mhm.
my grandfather.
Yeah.
So now that's something that I'm starting to take into account a lot more, and just the simple fact of like going to the grocery store, like if I'm getting a drink from a gas station, like I'm just gonna go for the sugar-free
Mhm.
version of it.
Yeah.
And just the habit of like looking at the nutrition label has now been transferred to like grocery shopping, where I'm now being more conscious of
Yeah, man.
of like the actual nutrition facts and stuff. And just that simple way of doing that, like I'm trying to introduce more protein into my diet and everything, because I do want to go back to the gym.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think now that it's summer and like I can like do my warm up as just running to the Y, like I should be able to get to the gym a lot more often.
Mhm.
Totally.
But yeah, just introducing like small amounts of protein, like chocolate milk. I love chocolate milk.
So good. So good and yummy.
You good?
Sorry, I was-
You gotta get something off your chest over
You want me
there?
to say it slowly or?
No, it's all right.
Yeah, there's like a brand of chocolate milk that has like twice as much protein as normal chocolate milk,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's virtually
Tastes the same.
it tastes
Tastes just as yummy.
it tastes just as
Just
good,
as delectable.
and it's like not even that much of a pay difference or cost difference.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was so simple to just swap that out, and then like for breakfast just have a glass of chocolate milk before going to work and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Was your family a half and halfer on chocolate milk?
What do you mean?
Oh, we did that for eggnog.
Like half white milk, half hot chocolate.
No.
Or chocolate milk.
No.
Oh, my family was that.
No, we were a Nesquik family.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Dad.
didn't
Oh,
have
good
chocolate
lord.
milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
The
thinking.
diabetes thing. Yeah.
Getting Nesquik, that was a big thing for us, and it didn't last long.
No.
Everybody wanted
Bro,
it.
a Nesquik bottle did not last long in my
No,
fucking house.
never
The
did.
way that Riley would just fucking dump half of that bottle.
Oh yeah, you're
into a glass.
filling that glass a quarter full.
Oh lord. Yeah, you could honestly like you don't even like usually you fill it up with milk first and then you throw in the chocolate syrup.
Mhm.
I feel like Riley could have just and I'm ragging on Riley. It was Riley, Jordan, Dad, like all of us.
Yeah.
Like all of us were doing this. But it was like you could fill up a quarter of the glass with the chocolate syrup first and
Oh,
then
yeah.
throw it on the
And then
milk.
throw on a milk. We'll put
Yeah.
that in after.
Then
That's
you
an
spend
afterthought.
3 minutes stirring it all, and you're still getting these
Thick
chunks
as molasses.
around.
Like, it's insane.
I was.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways, what I was thinking of. That's funny. That's super funny.
I've never heard of half and half though.
Yeah, we did half and half, and I was just thinking about the first time that I had the I could pour my own milk. You know when like you couldn't pour your own milk?
Yeah, okay, sure.
It was way too heavy.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the first time I poured my own chocolate milk when the parents weren't home, and I didn't half and half it.
Oh, living like a king.
Yeah, living like a king. Yeah, I
Damn.
was just reminiscing. I wanted to see if
I love that.
If
I love
anyone,
that.
If anyone related.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely the reason why I have 2 containers of chocolate milk in my fridge at any given time. Because you never had it as a kid. I'm just like, I'm an adult. I can get what I want now.
Yeah.
Some chocolate milk.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Some cho milk.
Heading back to the gym though, I don't know, man. Like eating. That's the thing too. Like my body's so susceptible to like what I eat, and like going to what you're talking about, like checking labels and shit like that. The amount of times, and I'm so glad that every company has decided like. Or maybe it's like a food guideline thing where it's like you have to highlight if there's an allergen, and thankfully milk is an allergen.
Right.
So like every time I'm like checking, I'm like, okay, oh, that's got milk. Like I can just quickly scan it.
Yeah.
So nice. But anyway, yeah, I actually have a note on one of my workout plans. I think it might be my my leg day workout plan, and I'll read it verbatim here. Yeah, here it is. Leg day. Note at the top: if you ever eat way back burgers again before the gym again, I will be personally upset with you. Yeah, man. But that really goes into what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, man, you can't go into the gym. Like, it feels like the gym, even though it actually isn't that much of a commitment.
No, it forces.
You're always looking for that one thing to be like, well, I can't go today because I just ate a fucking.
And that I find that's always like the first nail in the casket for me whenever I fall off. There's always something that's like, oh, I can't go to the gym today, and then the next time that it comes around, it's like, oh, well, like this happened, so I can't go, and then and you get to a point where it's like, well, I haven't been in like 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
Like, what? Realistically, what's the point?
It's tricky. It's a spiral. Yeah.
100%. That's another reason I really like the gym is it increases your mental fortitude, I guess.
Yeah.
Like mentally it trains you as well as physically.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
100%.
Like if there has been times where in the past you get a little down in the dumps, a little depressed and whatnot.
Absolutely.
People do.
Dude, working out helps with that so for me at least unbelievable amounts of euphoria just for going out and just using your body to do stuff.
1,000%.
It takes you out of your head is the way
does.
I think of it. It's like you are more in tune with your body as opposed to just stuck in your head thinking about.
Yeah, going to the gym is not
whatever.
all about your body. Like there is so much mental aspect to it.
1,000%.
That you get so many benefits out of it,
Homie,
mental wise.
So basically, the way it works for me is that like my apartment. Obviously, you guys know where my apartment is, but it's only a few blocks away from the Brandon University gym, like the Healthy Living Center, and like the walks back from the gym, the walks there usually like okay, I gotta go do this thing.
Yeah.
The walks back, music is just hitting. I'm like schmoovin', you know, like I'm just walking down 18th Street, like oh shit, okay,
Yeah, it makes you
okay,
feel good,
yeah, man. Like it really does a wonder on your like your mindset for like the rest of your day. I'm like, man, I did that.
Especially if you can get in a routine.
Yes.
And then the rest of your day always seems way better.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because it's so hard to go sometimes. Like you know you're gonna feel great after, but you're like, hell no.
I was gonna ask you, Brad, because like you live out of town. Like your closest gym, like where do you go to the gym?
I used to go to Jamie George's and then I went to ACC. Now I'm in the middle, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not at ACC anymore, so I don't have that gym
Right.
to go to. So I'm not sure where I'm going to go.
So I got to imagine like ACC accessible because you had to go to classes there.
100%, yeah.
And be like, okay, well, I'm going to plan to go to the gym while also being in town for this.
Yeah.
But like now it's kind of what Noah was talking about, like that accessible thing.
Yeah, where do I go for the gym?
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. It's been a thought process. I don't really know what I'm going to do. I haven't really planned it all out between everything. We have a few weights at the house that I throw around occasionally just to like get the blood pumping.
Yeah.
But obviously it's different. I mean, showing up, dressing yourself to go to the gym, putting on your shoes, like the whole thing is like it's a full experience that it's just completely different than doing it at home sometimes, or just like lifting up some weights and being.
See, but I want to get some weights for my house.
Yeah, they're
because
good to have
I
around.
feel like it goes back to that accessibility thing. Like I can't go to the gym. At least I have something there that I can do in between like chores. Like if I have too many chores for the day and that's why I can't go to the gym,
Revving up some bicycles.
then absolutely.
Yeah.
Like in between, like I've done doing the dishes. Like I'll take a couple minute breaks.
I've had my chocolate milk.
I've had my chocolate milk,
Good to
fueled
go.
up.
Yeah.
and then just have like a little mini workout, and even that is, like you said, building a bridge. It's that
Yeah,
is
man.
progress.
Which I find also funny about the gym is that you don't really, like, especially for a lot of people getting into the gym, or like the gym is too, like, you don't need all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like getting moving with your body is priority number one. I would like, not priority number one in life, but as a beginner, like, that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
If you're doing any movement, jumping jacks, burpees, push-ups,
It doesn't matter what
dips,
you're wearing.
it doesn't fucking matter.
I
Just like start doing it.
absolutely, man, and like, man, there's so many like things that I want to like touch on, like that we brought up already, but
the
like,
gym, like,
yeah,
umbrellas into all of health. I feel.
absolutely, and I feel like we could have a really interesting conversation like for like a while here.
Mhm.
But like to jump off of an earlier point about kind of that mindset thing of
Mhm.
like I didn't know what to do in the gym, and I feel like I talked about this with you
Right.
guys quite a bit in terms of like I would go there and I would only go on the treadmill.
Right. Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to use the equipment or what
Mhm.
the right workout plan was, or like
Right.
blah 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 blah. And like again, those were excuses. I could absolutely do the research. I could absolutely do the work and be
Right,
like,
yeah.
yo, I gotta obviously like it's not that hard to just go pick up the 15s
Mhm.
and rip some bicep curls.
Right.
But yeah, but going back to what you were talking about, like the mental clearing almost.
Mm-hmm.
Why people would ask me like, okay, so why are you running? And I'm like, because like everybody hates cardio. It's such a meme.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I love it because it's the only thing you can focus on.
Right.
The only thing you can focus on is like watching that number go up on the treadmill or getting that next foot in front of the other
Right.
and hitting the goal that you set for yourself. Like
Mhm.
I remember it was like I was trying to hit like I want to say like 3 kilometers in one run. I was like, oh, fuck this. Like, I can't do this.
Right.
And then there was one day where I set a goal of like 5K and 25, and I did that.
Right.
I was like, oh, shit. And like,
I can do this.
and it was actually right after that point where I hit that kind of like that peak where I was like, okay, you know what? Actually, I think it was literally like Dal had sent me a workout plan for like, hey, this is what you should do for push day, pull day, and leg
Right.
day.
For someone to guide you.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was looking for that. I was looking for like that workout plan
Mhm.
of like, what am I supposed to do? Because
Right.
I don't know what to do, and I just need like a
Mhm.
Sherpa to show me the way up the mountain. You
Right.
know.
Yeah.
But I do that 25-minute run, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I'm riding high,
Mm-hmm.
and the gym is empty. Like there's not many people in there, and I'm like, and that's usually like my biggest barrier of like if there's too many people, I'm out. Fuck it.
Doesn't feel. Yeah.
Leave
I
me
get what
alone.
you're saying. Yeah.
But I look around the gym, I see nobody's there, and I'm like, even though I just did a very intense thing,
Mm-hmm.
I went and ripped a workout, like an actual like
Yeah.
weights
Yeah.
workout.
And
And
you
I
were
was like,
like, yeah.
holy shit, this isn't as bad as I thought it was in terms of
Mm.
like, it's not this like giant scary like, I don't know how to use the machines and people are going to look at me while I'm doing this and they're going to be like, what the fuck is this moron
Yeah.
doing? You know,
Oh,
like,
that is one point that I
please
you,
go
no,
off.
No, you keep going, but that's one point that I want to circle back to.
No, I just want to finish that up with like saying like, yeah, like having a plan, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like with cardio, that was very much my thing of like, I need my brain to stop for a minute and focus on only one thing.
Right. Yeah.
Because the amount of times I'd just be like, I'd very much be like too much in my head of like jumping to this thought and then this thought and then
Right.
this thought. I was like, no, go get on the treadmill, 25 minutes.
Like
What's
kind of
25 minutes to you?
kind of a form of meditation in a way.
Absolutely. Even though
100%.
you're sweating up a storm, you got tomato face,
Mhm.
and, you
Live a
know,
life, man.
ketchup face, you know,
Ketchup face.
ketchup. Noah, you wanted to jump off a point.
Yeah, so that's a barrier that I know a lot of people have is how they think they are going to be perceived in the gym.
Yeah.
Right.
My method for thinking about that is everyone else in the gym has headphones on.
Yep.
Everyone else is either A, thinking exactly like you, where they're
Yeah.
just like, oh, I hope nobody's like looks at me and it's like, oh, look at this guy who has no idea what they're doing.
Totally.
Mhm.
Or 2 has the second thought of, I'm just going to do my own thing and hope that nobody bothers me.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
Those are the only 2 things. When have you ever been in an actual public gym and seen somebody like walk up to somebody that they have no idea who they are. They're just like, oh, you're doing this all wrong, and like start making fun of them.
No, what?
Nobody does that in
No,
the
what?
gym.
Does that, no.
Everybody's there for their own reasons, and
Yeah.
everybody's in their own little world.
Yeah,
And
man.
Half the time, nobody's gonna even hear you if you're like grunting or anything, because they all have noise canceling headphones in
Yeah.
nowadays.
Sometimes there are those guys though that
yeah,
are very
they'd be
much just like
grunting, yeah.
they're dropping the weights. I'm like, homie, please, homie, please.
Please stop making so much noise.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. No, I definitely get that. That's a great point. And if people are judging you at the gym, their opinion shouldn't matter. Like if they're mean
Oh,
enough
yeah.
to like be like, man, this person's trying to better themselves. What an idiot.
Could you imagine?
Like,
Well,
what?
and if somebody comes over and is like, "Oh, you're doing this all wrong" and everything, go online and like do research, and you're gonna find 3 different ways of doing the
100%.
exact same exercise,
100%.
and it's all gonna be like, "Oh, this is scientifically
And-
proven."
And all those big scary guys have been in the exact spot you were,
Yeah.
where it's like, I'm showing up to the gym, I don't know I'm not sure where to go.
Yeah.
I'm lost. Like they've all been there.
It's interesting that we're talking about barriers so much, and I think that's such a fascinating like part of the gym experience is that like a lot of people with social media, and like we've talked about this in the past, it's like you're showing your best self. So when you see people at the gym on social media, or you see people with their like milestones or whatever, it's like,
Right.
oh, you know, fucking, we're here to pump you up, you know, like,
I'm huge.
yeah, I'm huge. Like you look at that, you're like, oh fuck, man, like that's impossible. I'm like, of course it's impossible. It's an impossible standard, bro.
Yeah.
That is not there every day.
Well,
Like,
and like another thing with that is like 80 to 90% of the fitness people that are telling you what to do online, and they're in these like shredded states where
Yeah.
they look absolutely fantastic. You have to remember they're probably getting paid to do that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
this is probably their job. They don't have a 9 to 5 job that they do beforehand.
Totally.
And then go and do this.
And they're probably
This is their whole life.
probably on drugs. Probably doing roids or something.
I'm just gonna say
man.
this quiet part
Let's
out
be
loud.
real.
Let's be real.
Nobody looking that big.
But nobody's gonna say that.
No.
Nobody's like, oh, this is how you actually properly do a bench press.
No, and
This is what I do for 8 hours a day.
and that's something I wanted to bring up is that like the idea of somebody coming up to you and saying shit like that, it's almost like a non-issue. Like it's so unlikely to happen
It's
that
a fairy tale.
yeah, exactly. And yeah,
I would look at someone like they were an idiot if they did that.
homie,
What are
genuinely
you
like,
talking about? Brother,
Cool.
who cares?
You can go back to your workout.
Who cares, man?
yeah. The gym. I was about to say gym's exciting. It's like who's Jim?
Who's Jim?
Who's this gym guy?
He's a
The
nice
biggest
guy.
barrier to gyms is just all the barriers that there are. And
Yeah.
so many of them are just mental things too.
100%, yeah.
Yep.
Which
Yeah,
I
we
think is
put up
why
with
it's so
those barriers.
rewarding to do.
And yeah, I kind of want to shift towards like the positive, like not even barriers, but like let's talk about the benefits. Let's talk about like the like the amount of camaraderie I see in the gym when I go. Like BU is a pretty small gym. Like if you know somebody there, you're going to bump into them.
Right.
And like the amount of times I'll go there and I'll be like, I usually stick to myself. I
Right.
very much am a person like, if I know you really well, then we'll chat. Like I talked to your brother the other day, and then I was like, "Hey, what's up, homie?" But like, I very much headphones in
Right.
and blank face. Like
Dial
I'm doing
in.
my thing,
You're in your world.
and I only do that not to be an asshole and be like, "I'm not gonna fucking talk to you."
Right.
It's more so like a situation of like I don't want to assume that you want to talk right now,
Yeah.
and I'm open to a conversation if we want
Right.
to, but like I'm good. Like
Right,
we
yeah.
we can be doing our own things right now.
100%, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's been so many times where like the most conversation you have with anybody in the gym is like, "Are you waiting for this equipment?"
Yeah,
Or-
we use hand signals. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
you can do so much communication
point-
with hand
point,
signals.
thumbs up,
Point,
yep,
thumbs up,
nope.
thumbs down.
Mhm.
And it's like, yep, hands up, thank you.
It's so true. But yeah, like the camaraderie that I see, like, because some people do what I do,
Right.
but then some people are social butterflies in the gym,
100%, yeah.
and they're like, hey, like, I remember one time Mike and I went to the gym together,
Yeah.
or even Jordan and I went to Jamie George's one time. I wasn't supposed to be in there.
all right.
Jamie George, don't listen to the podcast. But like, sometimes it is nice to have like that group.
Oh,
Situation
absolutely.
going on.
Me
Absolutely.
and Mike did it a lot.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a lot. We were always in the gym together.
Yeah.
It's very nice to have someone there to be like, "Hey man, you got another one in you.
Yeah.
You can
Oh.
do that."
It's
There-
like hyping up, man.
There was
Yeah.
a couple times I went with you and Mike, and that was some of the best workouts I've had.
Makes it like it's just like just having someone there to watch you
Yeah.
keeps you accountable for your goal.
Yeah.
'Cause they know your
Everybody's
goal.
just pinging off each other.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
That's
And
awesome.
It's that support, man. Yeah, honestly, like, well, I'd like to shift into that as well, but like, my workout, I had one workout with Mike over Christmas break.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is one of the best workouts I've ever had because
Yeah.
this guy is just coach quality, bro.
Well, Mike's been through so many. He's been through personal training before.
Yeah.
And he's talked, and he knows his body really well, and he's really good with muscles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like about the gym. Speaking of that, is that you learn about your body so much.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
Like in the sense of like, I understand where my weaknesses are and what I need to work on.
My left tricep. That's my fucking weakness.
Is that real?
Yeah, no, for real though.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. Or I noticed that my left knee is weaker than my right knee, so when I'm squatting, it bends in.
Oh,
like as a
interesting.
small thing, so it's
Yeah.
like it like can cave a little bit. So then all of a sudden I'm working on that, and like those little things are what makes your body feel even better. Is that small stuff? Maybe not like, oh, I'm getting huge biceps, but it's like all of a sudden I'm more stable and feel stronger, and my muscles are more accustomed to where they should be working.
Well,
Yeah.
and you also find out that like just daily out of gym stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you're like using a lot of the techniques that you use in the gym just subconsciously too.
100%.
Yeah, you're doing those bicep curls with the choco milk jug.
Yeah, exactly.
One
You know?
sip, 2 sip, 3 sip.
Sorry, I keep jumping on
Oh
that.
no, it's great. It's great.
I love the chocolate
It's
milk.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
He's thinking about the chocolate milk again. He got it in his head.
I'm thinking of so many different
3 reps of sipping.
Yo, you got 15 reps of sips left, bro. You got another one in you. You got another one in you.
It's like half the jug started like, no.
I'm done.
I can't do it, bro. I can't do it
You
anymore.
could do it.
No,
Sorry.
if you are worried about going to the gym and like what other people are going to think about you,
Yeah,
see if somebody else wants to go with you,
1,000%.
because
Yeah.
it alleviates all worry about what the random public is going to think, because you're no longer focused on them. It's just you and this other person, and you're both just making yourselves better.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's not as intimidating for sure, which is really nice.
Yeah, I honestly with the gym, and I brought this up on the podcast before, but I very much have been like understanding that nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like nobody knows what they're doing. So it goes back to what you were saying, where like, or I think
Everybody
maybe-
has their own ways of doing stuff.
Yeah, it's that, but it's also like what you were talking about, where like nobody wants or like nobody's gonna bother you because they're all also thinking about what they're doing and like trying to they're probably overthinking things too.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much a like nobody knows what the hell they're doing,
Yeah.
and so because nobody knows what they're doing, they're just trying their best.
Yeah.
And like going with a friend or like whatever, like let's all try our best together, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
100%.
There's no one way to get the end result that you want.
No,
Yeah.
everybody's got their own path, bro.
100%. Yeah, and I mean, the more you work out, no matter what you're doing, it's going to help you in the slightest.
Yeah.
And like in any regard, no matter what workout you do, it helps you some way.
Totally.
Helps you mentally, if not, like if it doesn't help your body, like, oh, this doesn't work me out, it's like, oh, yeah, but mentally you're fighting through a workout. You're
Yeah.
focusing on emotion. You're engaging certain muscles.
You're
And
listening
trying
to
to do that.
banger music,
You're
bro.
listening to Katy Perry.
Listen, man.
Like a plastic.
What's one of your wildest like gym songs?
Oh man, fucking.
Oh,
I'm a sad gym singer. Like I'm a sad song gym guy.
Really?
Yeah. I know it's weird, but that's my role.
Man, like if anything is like below a certain BPM, I'm like I gotta get this off. I'm not listening to this right now. This
I
is
love
knifing me
it.
up.
I love
That's
it.
wild.
I love like, fucking give me Lumineers, man. Give me
Really?
Give me like that low key super.
That hypes you
I'll-
up?
I can
I'll
see it.
listen
I
to
can see it.
lo-fi at the gym sometimes.
Damn.
I have definitely done that.
Yeah, it's nice.
And it's just one of those things where it's so violently different from the perceived like vibe of the
Yeah.
gym.
Yeah.
It's like classic like me and like reel that you'll always see on fucking Instagram, where it's like me at the gym and it's like stoic or whatever. It's like Plastic Bag is playing in my earbuds. Yeah.
Dude, I remember I had one workout and I felt like a Greek god, and the entire time I was just listening to like orchestral music.
Yeah.
And dude, that stuff got me so hyped.
I love that.
I was picturing myself in like Spartan warrior outfit, like
Oh, dude.
300
That's so sick.
battles and everything. Like I was visualizing all this, and I was like doing like calf raises or whatever.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
the shit that you sometimes need to do, though.
Yeah.
I'm weirdly the opposite in the gym, where I don't try to hype myself up. I try to calm myself down.
Okay.
Like in the sense of like Like I'll like really try to like you know how you kind of like meditate when you're running?
Yeah.
Like kind of the same sense of doing that while you're lifting weights and like really like thinking about the specific muscle I'm trying to work and really like this is like in my body, not in my head kind of idea.
Interesting.
And when I have lo-fi, I'm not thinking about the music too much.
Dude, I would always catch myself like if I was doing like arm curls or whatever, I would catch my offhand like just trying to like feel different muscle groups and like doing like a super slow curl and then just like trying to feel each muscle like activate and stuff.
Yeah.
And
helps a lot.
Oh yeah.
Helps
just
a lot.
the mind to body connection and everything.
I think there's actually like don't quote me because I heard it on like a podcast or something.
Sure.
But they say like you
filthy podcasters, am I right? Am I right, guys?
bunch of liars.
Bunch of liars.
Cappers.
Yeah.
No, they said like you gain 15% more mass if you're thinking about the muscle you're trying to work. Because all of a sudden, I'm thinking about this. I'm not engaging this muscle or that muscle that's also supporting the muscle. Like it's all of a sudden it's
I can see that connection.
You know what I mean? Like you can kind of pinch it a little bit.
Well, that's such a, like that's a like lesser fact about the gym is like it is not about how much weight you move.
Hell no.
Like people always brag like, oh, I lifted this much weight or I can bench press this.
Which
it's
props to them.
Yeah, oh yeah,
good
no,
job.
great that you're at that point and you can do that. But in my experience at least, I feel like I gain so much more when I know that I've accomplished like a certain workout and I've done it in like with the proper form or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like sure you could curl 50 pounds 10 times 3 times in a row.
Sure.
But you're like swinging your arm the whole time.
Yeah.
Man,
Like,
I catch
you're
myself sometimes.
You're using your shoulder.
Oh,
and
it's the
everything.
worst.
That's the stuff that makes you grow though is when you catch yourself doing that.
Yeah. And then you
Catch
like
those
you
facilities.
catch yourself, you slow down, you start feeling the different muscles activate, and then you realize like, oh, maybe I can only do this like with a 25
And
pound,
what you should for sure.
like half the weight
Yeah.
for the same amount of reps, but I feel even more tired afterwards.
Totally.
100%.
I want to shift into motivation because I put that in the script, but it was very much like a like. We've been talking a lot about like the benefits. We've been talking about like the barriers, but I want to talk about like the why. I love asking the why about literally anything. It's like, why do we do this? Why do we break ourselves so that we can come back stronger? You know.
Right.
Does anybody have any like did anybody want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Please.
So motivation wise, for the longest stint that I was working out, mentally, you just don't see the gains.
No.
Okay.
You don't.
Yeah.
No, you never do.
You never do. No matter how many times you look in the mirror, it's always gonna like you look the same. But then out of nowhere, somebody will just randomly compliment it. Like Randy, when you were talking about me,
The pythons,
at
baby.
that point, I was like, nothing has changed about me.
Yeah.
Because it's too subtle to you, but it's more major.
Oh,
to
it's
other people.
incredibly subtle to you.
But the absolute ego inflation
yeah, man.
Huge.
was amazing, and
Huge.
it made me want to go to the gym immediately afterwards.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like we'll get into like our motivators in a second here, but like I love giving people their flowers, and I've been trying to make such an effort to do that more.
Right.
Of like, it's not even gassing up the homies. It's like genuine, like, hey man, I see the effort that you're putting in. I want to like acknowledge it. Like you're doing
Yeah,
great.
just acknowledging.
You're doing
what's
great
right. Yeah, for
things.
sure.
But yeah. So
Yeah, no, that was one of my hugest motivators at the time. And,
yeah.
and like, oh yeah, you just feel good. You feel like you feel healthy.
100%.
Yeah, man. And I think like there is that aspect of like, hey, I've been working out and people
It feels
notice.
superficial, but
Yeah.
I
So
don't
what?
think
It's
it is
still-
superficial. I remember I was talking to Mike, and we were having this great conversation about the gym, and I was
you
like,
could talk to that guy about the gym for hours. man.
absolutely,
He
and
loves
it's
talking about the
always
gym.
fucking awesome.
I love
man.
it. Yeah.
But we're sitting there, I'm talking, and I'm like, and Mike is one of those people that will call me on stuff. He's not a yes man.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I say something like that he doesn't agree with, he's like, well, no, like hold
Especially
on.
When it comes to the gym, he's super. When he's knowledgeable in
knows.
something,
Yeah,
he knows. Yeah.
absolutely. So we're sitting there. I think this was a couple months ago when we went and visited in Winnipeg,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, yeah, man, but like I could really do without the guys that go up to the mirror and like flex their muscles in front of the mirror. He goes, Ran, if that's what they need to get through the day or through their workout, to see the progress that they've been making, then what's the harm?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mike, that's a really good point.
That's a great point.
Like, thank you for calling me out on that, because like now I see that, and I don't see, my mind doesn't immediately go, oh, what an asshole.
Right.
Look at this egotistical guy. It's like,
Oh,
No.
that's a guy who's proud of his progress.
Proud of his work. If I created a wooden duck, I would show it to myself in the mirror and be like, I made this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Or take
I'm
a
proud.
photo of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Throw it on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Carving with Rand.
Carving with Rand. Hey,
Which could be snowboarding,
yeah.
or it could be wood carving.
Could be, sure.
Multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose.
I'm
Could
telling
be.
you. But yeah, absolutely. And I think like I don't think it's did we call it superficial?
Superficial.
I don't think it's a completely superficial thing, man. I genuinely think like, hey, you're putting in the work and people notice. That's such a great feeling.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and like some people will think it's superficial, but like to me it was like, oh, I guess I am progressing a little bit.
It's hard to take a compliment.
It is.
It is.
It
I
always
completely
is.
understand.
And that's
yeah.
why I want to give people flowers more, because we got to get used to complimenting each other.
I think it's a thing that people should do more often.
Absolutely.
I think it would give people more motivation in a world of people trying to demotivate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Surround yourself with homies, man.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
telling you. Like, surround
yeah.
yourself with hype men
Hype men
or women.
or women.
Hype people.
Hype
There you
people.
go.
Hype beasts.
Hype beast. Hey.
Brad, what's your motivation, man?
Physically, I want to look good, booty bone naked.
Of course.
I
Of
mean,
course.
Come on, right? Like that's the end of
Everybody
the goal.
wants that.
Yeah.
But like ultimate goal is fully probably mental completely. Like knowing I can outdo myself, knowing I can push myself through things even when I don't see progress right away.
Yeah.
And then
It's
the
huge to me.
rock and bod is just a good side effect.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
like,
what you call it? The booty butt naked?
looking good, booty bone naked.
Booty bone naked. Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously I think just understanding your body more every day. Like when you eat something silly, when you eat something stupid, or you like
Silly goofy meal, you know,
stupid,
goblin
little
mode.
stupid, like you have something maybe a little more unhealthy, and then you go to the gym, you feel it a lot more than maybe if you didn't go to the gym.
Okay.
Like if you eat something shitty, like today I did this vile thing and had 2 frozen meals because I was like, it's lunchtime, I don't know what to eat, so
Sure.
I did 2 frozen meals.
Yep.
If I went to the gym after that, I would have noticed how much it affected my body a lot more.
Yeah.
So it kind of holds you accountable that way, and yeah, just mentally beating myself, not actually beating.
I know what you mean, though.
Mentally
Like,
surpassing.
Yeah, like
The-
like strengthening myself, feeling better about myself. Obviously, it gives me a better outlook on my body and how I feel, and
yeah.
Upgrading.
I don't know.
Upgrading.
Yeah.
Upgrades,
upgrading, yeah.
people. Upgrades.
and it makes you feel good when you can be consistent on something like that. And I think good in a way you can't achieve in a lot of other ways.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's almost like it brings a unique, like it's almost like a hit that or a fix that you can't get anywhere else.
Mhm. It makes the small enjoyments better. Like when you have a Coca-Cola, or when you drink a little bit or smoke a little schmeed.
Of course.
Like it makes your day. It makes that more enjoyable when you have felt like you are progressing in something else.
Honestly, case in point, man. Like I've been doing 5:30 wake ups,
Mm-hmm.
6 o'clock run, and good lord, is it so much easier to sit at a cubicle all day
Mm-hmm.
if I've already done that to start my day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, I have done it after this.
Yeah.
This is at the end. Because when you sit at a
been
cubicle,
productive outside of work.
100%, yeah.
Already. Like,
Already,
because
yeah.
usually, like, it goes back to what you were saying, Noah, about like the getting off work and being like, oh man,
Still gotta
I still
do
got to
more
do
work.
this. Yeah, absolutely. But getting it out of the way early. I do it for running. I can't do a workout in the morning
Fair enough, yeah.
because I always feel like I'm running against time
Mm-hmm.
and not
Yeah.
running, but like, I don't know, like,
Time anxiety and stuff.
yeah,
like that.
Mhm.
exactly. It's like, oh, I got to do these curls quickly because,
Yeah. We gotta
Can't
go
take a
work.
break.
yeah. But yeah, no, I appreciate that, Brad. Those are honestly like, I think you're both hitting on like such major like motivators for myself as well.
Right.
And that like, I originally going to the gym like for running was very much a like, hey, I need something to fix what's going on. It
Mhm.
was a huge mental thing.
Right,
It was a
100%.
huge mental thing, and that like I needed to get right, and the only thing that I could think of was jogging. And
Mhm.
I've had a history of that growing up. Like
It's like, fucking gotta jog.
anytime I was like, oh man, things are not going well, hit the dirt road and just start jogging.
Just go for a run.
Yeah, it might be like boiling hot and mosquitoes are out. Doesn't matter. Put on a sweater, go out there.
Right, hell
Like,
yeah.
yeah, and so it was a huge mental thing, and like it continues to be a mental thing. I think like when I wasn't at the gym for those 3 weeks in exam period, on top of being stressed about exams, I was also stressed about not going to the gym anymore.
You feel you notice after the gym for sure.
Yeah,
feel
like
guilty.
when you're not in the gym.
It's that guilt. That guilt gets in there, but then it's also like the oh man, am I ever gonna go back?
And the pile up of like when you're not going to the gym, those emotions you get out at the gym don't disappear all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like I feel like working out is a output for negative shit that goes on in your head
Absolutely.
sometimes.
Sure.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like maybe stuff you don't even notice or don't even like consciously think about. But
You can
like,
release so much like
stress and shit you hold on to.
built up stress.
100%.
It exits the body so much easier.
Yeah, like little shit like, oh, look, remember the guy stole my parking spot? Do this.
Oh yeah, it can be
Drink my
something.
chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
Damn it! I was gonna drink that.
Fucking last cup. God, fuck! I'm gonna work out for beat him up.
Thank God I have my backup chocolate milk in my back pocket.
My second container.
It's got like a ketchup packet. Chocolate milk.
Just a little shot.
Just start-
Homie thinks my fucking water bottle is filled with water.
It's like those little wax
I might
juice
do that.
bottles that were like out as kids.
Oh yeah.
You'd have to bite off the top of it.
Just yogurt tube type
Yeah.
thing. Crazy.
Could you imagine somebody fucking rips off a fucking yogurt tube filled with ketchup?
Oh god.
Oh,
Just imagine a massive ketchup.
nah, man.
Oh.
But yeah, like, so it was a huge mental thing, but now it's a physical thing. Like, well, it continues to be a mental thing. Like we were talking about, like walking back from the gym.
Mhm.
Never feel greater.
Right.
Never feel better than just like walking back from the gym. But so that's the mental thing. But then like the physical thing of like, I'm really bad at stretching. I'm not gonna lie. I do a
Fair
little bit of a warm up stretch, but not
Right.
enough. 'Cause
Yeah.
the next day I feel it.
Mhm.
But since I feel it the next day, I kind of it's almost like residual. Like, hey, you did something.
Yeah.
I do like the soreness. I know
Yeah.
what you mean. I really like being sore.
Mhm.
Weirdly enough.
Not in a masochist way, but
No,
in a-
no,
in a
no.
feeling accomplished
yeah,
kind of
like,
way.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, and then also
Unless, no, I'm kidding.
Unless you're into that.
It does- hey.
not to bring up the sunburns again.
I put hot water on my sunburns, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like definitely, like weirdly enough, the pain of the gym makes you feel good, especially when you'll poke your muscle, be like, yep, that one hurts.
Yep.
I definitely made
That
progression.
one worked hard.
Yep.
Yeah, I made
I'm
progression.
proud of you, Peck.
You good job,
Josh Peck.
buddy.
Yeah, man. Let's shift into motivators real quick.
I
Right,
can't wait for
yes.
this because
I kind of want to go first, if you don't
yeah,
mind.
go for
Sure.
it. I want to know who motivates you.
Honestly, it's a cast of characters. Like,
I feel like we all have characters in our mind that it's like if I could look like them.
oh, interesting, because I'm not even going in that direction.
That's my motivators.
Okay, cool. I like that. We'll get to that in a second then.
Yeah.
For me, motivators of like the people that got me going on the gym. Obviously Dallas, like Mike
Mm-hmm.
and Jordan.
Yeah.
Like those are my big three.
Right.
And like I genuinely have a group chat called Rand's Coaches, and I just like update them every once in a while. I'm like, I'm at 162 now,
Nice.
and they're like, yes, Rand, let's
Hell
go.
yeah, let's go. That's awesome.
But no, like the amount of times that like I wouldn't have gotten to working out with weights without Dal's input and like his workout plans that he gave me.
Yeah.
And his constant text of like, you hitting the gym today, Rand?
Just
like,
keeping you accountable.
Oh,
The accountability that
Oh,
he
that's
held me
good.
to in the fall last year
Good.
when I needed it the most. I would update him. I'd be like, hey man, I just hit like 5K in this like 29 minutes or whatever. And he's like, great work, man. Honestly, great. Like whatever. He'd be like, hype me up. He'd probably make some stupid joke about like
course,
whatever,
yeah.
but like
That's dope.
cardio's for losers or whatever. But you know, but like, yeah, no, like honestly, like he's one of my huge motivators. And then Mike Gertzen.
Mhm.
I think like I
Absolutely.
feel like that's a universal in this room. Like
Yeah.
the dedication that guy has
He's
and
a
the
head down grinder for the gym, man.
yeah, man, and like the passion that he has for like
His body and
let's
like,
do
feeling
this.
Good. Yeah. For
like
sure.
like I said earlier, like that workout that we had in like the winter, makes it sound like it's like and there was that workout.
Yeah.
You know, like
No, but the way he talks to you, like I've worked out with him forever,
Yeah.
and obviously I picked up like so much from him, and do the same things that he does a lot of the time now. But like when you're working out with him, and he's like, "Hey, focus on this, try this," like just like to pull you out of like, let's lower the weight, try and do this a little bit more,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. Like
he
he knows how to he knows how to get you going.
Totally.
He like conveys it in a way that it's not criticism, and it's also not. It's not like a normal coach. Like it's more like a teacher.
He's like, hey man.
Like he teaches. He tells you what to do.
Yeah.
And then he explains.
Yeah.
Why you do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and honestly, like my best analogy for Mike as a gym coach is like he's almost like an improv coach. He's a yes and guy.
Right.
And that like yes and like
yeah.
You'll ask him like, oh, so this is for this? And he's like, yes, and you know,
also
like
yeah.
he's man, he's like one of those people that's like, oh man, you're a real one.
Right.
You're a real one, Mike.
He's someone who is thoroughly passionate about it.
Yeah.
100%. Michael did like I went and worked out with him this weekend, I guess. Just before, because I was in Winnipeg with him, and he brought up the idea of being a personal trainer himself.
Oh, he could
like, trying to push
he
for
would
it.
Oh man,
he would
I
thrive in that.
I think he would do.
I
great with
would
it.
pay for his services. I sure would.
I would let that
He's
man.
basically
service me.
giving it to
Wait,
us
whoa,
for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no.
We're his trial period. You know,
Yeah,
like
he said the only thing that's holding him back is he wants to, like obviously, personal trainers have like a physical, like he wants to like look better.
oh, okay, sure.
For it.
Yep.
But I mean,
I wouldn't
Mike,
like
if you're listening to this, go do that shit.
go get that shit,
Go
man.
get that shit done.
Honestly, like you have 3 people that would support.
Oh, 100%.
Like
100%.
we'll be on your website as like your test subjects of like,
We'll-
hey, I
we'll
went
write-
from this to this.
we'll write reviews.
Yeah, absolutely.
we'll write reviews.
Absolutely. And then obviously my third one, Jordan. Like Jordan continuously impresses me in like her determination and drive.
She's wild.
It's
actually.
absurd, man.
Yeah,
like
it is
she sees a goal and she's like, yeah, I'll fucking do that.
Yeah.
And she'll put in the work for like ages to get that shit done and like consistently to the point where I'm like, how are you not burnt out yet?
Yeah.
Like it's insane. Yeah, those are my people that I wanted to give flowers to because again, I want to hype people up and I want to be like, yo, these people are where it's at.
Yeah, they get it done.
Noah.
So for me, motivators, besides Mike,
Yeah, of course.
obviously, who I'm fairly certain is just a universal motivator for all of us.
Yeah.
For sure,
Yeah.
No, that guy doesn't motivate me at all. He's my brother.
I fucking hate that guy.
Are you kidding me?
Always kicks dirt in my eye whenever I'm working out.
But motivators for me don't come from actual people because I am such a fucking nerd.
Okay.
Fair enough, man.
There are definitely fictional people.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I like
there's
this.
a ton of fictional people that are just like, dude, if I could look like that, I would just be confident in everything. I wouldn't feel
Sure.
like there was a problem in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid
No.
that
it's not
that is a thing, but it works.
Yeah.
There's people. A lot of them are from like cartoons, anime, that kind of stuff like
Sure.
that.
They they get jacked.
Yeah.
Animes. That shit is
Well, and,
nuts
like-
sometimes.
and, like,
oh,
it- People immediately jump to like the completely unrealistic
right.
standards and everything. But you go into any gym, you're gonna find somebody that is wearing some sort of Dragon Ball Z merch,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Oh man,
that is
it's
their
either
motivator.
it's either like band tour shirt or anime shirt
Yeah.
or just like classic like, hey, I found
Baggy
this shirt in a fucking like a CVS like I don't know, Value Village like
Right,
shirt,
yeah.
whatever.
And I feel like anime and gym is starting to become a lot more combined.
Well, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
oh man.
Because it's hype.
Yeah, it
hype.
is.
Yes.
I've used, and I've done the same thing in a way that I've seen scenes that are like badass, like a character pushing themselves really really hard.
All
And
my
sometimes I'll use that, and I'm like, I think about that and be like, wow.
There's
Fucking
so
rights.
many
Yeah.
there's so many scenes in anime where it is just that intense that like just watching it you get
It's
like
so inspiring.
you get like goosebumps and stuff and
Yeah.
you get inspired and you're
Yeah.
just like, damn, I aspire to be like that person there.
Yeah,
This-
man.
Oh man, the silliest thing. So obviously watch Demon Slayer or whatever. There's a scene where his legs like get powered up.
Yeah.
And there's like the thing I've thought about that a bajillion times. doing
Yeah.
I'll get
volleyball where I'm
goosebumps
like
right
trying
now
to-
if we keep talking
Oh,
about
bro,
Get
fucking
me riled up
Ida
right
from My Hero, bro.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
anytime he has his moment, I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
popping off,
it.
bro.
Deku from My Hero Academia has quite literally he works out a ton and he
There's a literal training arc where he just
Yeah.
gets jacked.
where he's just getting jacked
Yeah.
just from continuously going to the gym, and I think he cleans up like a beach or something.
Yeah, it's incredible,
And
man.
by the end of it, he's just ripped.
Yeah.
He's shredded.
Yeah.
And that stuff is inspiring. Like,
100%.
imagine if you had the body of like All Might from My Hero Academia.
Sure, yeah.
Like that'd be sick.
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
tell me that wouldn't be.
100%.
No, totally.
one of my, like, if I could have like a dream physique,
Okay.
from Jujutsu Kaisen,
Right.
you know who? I don't know if you've gotten that far. Do you know who Toji Zenin is?
I might. I'm terrible with anime names, to be honest with you.
Just
Toe
look,
Jam. What?
just look him up real quick and then show Randy. He has
Okay.
a completely like, you do have to have like some genetics for it, obviously.
Yeah.
But like it is a wide, like in the gym, it's widely regarded as unattainable
Oh, no way.
physique.
Oh, that's fun.
Like you do have to be extremely dedicated to it and
What's his
everything.
name again?
Toji, Toji Zenin,
Okay, cool. Got you.
and like. There's lots of people on TikTok that are just like, oh, if you want to look like this guy, like follow,
There's like training
like
guides.
spam these workouts and everything. You have to like grow your lats this much.
Exponentially.
I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's very achievable.
Oh, it's super achievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting some fucking All Might looking guy.
Or
No.
like fucking some Baki shit where
Yeah.
they're like 7 muscles on their 7
Oh
muscles.
my god,
Yeah.
Baki is nuts.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
But like that's already a motivator, and then like I don't even know how to describe it. Like just what that character does and like their physical like prowess and like feats and everything. You're just like, man, if I could look like that, like I could do that stuff, and then that
Right.
just inspires you further.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Honestly, like I didn't even realize how like intertwined the two are of anime and the gym. There was an Instagram reel I saw the other day where it's like, I'm sure it was staged or something,
Right.
but it's basically like there was some scene from Dragon Ball like on one of the TVs in the gym, and like everybody's like every single dude in the gym is like looking up at this TV as it's playing, and like like some of them are like mid workout or like slowly going through their workout as they're watching it. They're like just so like
Dude,
enthralled by it. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's awesome.
dude, action anime is inspiring as all hell.
It
Yeah.
sure is, yeah.
And like you go anywhere, you're like I said, you're gonna see people with Dragon Ball,
Yeah,
with
1000%.
Demon Slayer.
I'm glad it's become more mainstream too.
Oh,
'Cause,
totally.
like 10 years ago, you said you watched anime, people would look at you weird.
Yeah.
But now it's like, who cares, man?
Oh,
What
yeah,
did you
you're-
want to watch?
some of like the most jacked guys
Love anime.
are huge. into
Totally,
anime.
man.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things, what are they called? The New Day. They're like a group of 3 wrestling guys, like in WWE. And apparently, like wrestling is like a lot of wrestling stars are like super into gaming. Like basically, like their side hustle is YouTube channels
Right.
doing gaming.
Yeah.
And like a lot of them are like super into Tekken and shit like that.
Nice.
It's like this is fucking so weird, but it's so
You guys
cool.
are crossing over. Right?
These gigantic dudes that are just like fucking playing as the giant bear in Tekken. You know? Like-
And like it's not even just anime. Like there's so many protagonists in video games that,
Yeah,
that
totally.
you can call on.
100%, yeah.
So yeah, there's so many fictional people. You can still use fictional people as a motivator, and I don't
100%.
think there's anything wrong with it.
No,
No, why
absolutely
not?
not. Brad,
Motivators?
motivators.
Oh, Mike. Duh.
Duh.
And then also just like, I think the idea of reaching potential kind of pushes me.
Go beyond.
Yeah, like, hey, I have the ability to be this if I try.
Yeah.
Why don't I? Kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah, I like that.
Um,
Self-motivator.
Yeah, self-motivator. I think you motivate me, Ran.
Oh,
For sure.
thanks,
Just in
man.
the sense of like, you went through a pretty tough time in life and then showed up the other end, and now you're like, fuck it, we're grinding. Let's get that done.
Yeah, I appreciate that a
yeah,
lot, man.
just
I
it's
appreciate
it's
that a
nice
lot.
to see.
Locking in.
Yeah.
Yeah, locking in. It's time to go. Yeah, and I mean, I think obviously just myself. I think I motivate myself a decent amount when I'm in the gym.
1,000%, bro.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, shout out to literally anybody that spends any amount of time in the gym.
Dude, when I look around and I see the big jack guys and they don't really inspire me a lot. Like
Sure.
I'll see huge guys like pushing 3 plates on the bench. I'm like, yeah, good job. It's when I see somebody who's like newer to the gym,
Yep.
hasn't been to the gym,
Absolutely.
and you see them getting in there and like looking around and like I'm like, fucking get
You
it,
can tell
man.
that they're
Like,
scared,
Yes.
and then you just see them like get on a machine and
I'm like,
and struggle.
yeah,
They do.
that makes me so excited to see, because then it's like,
Yes.
wow, I know this. I'm watching this person take steps that I know is going to better their life, and I love it.
It can be the scrawniest guy. It can be like a larger person.
Yeah.
It can be a person that's right in the middle.
or older,
Or
even.
old. Oh man,
I love
nothing
seeing
I
older.
love more than this one guy. I think his name is Russell. Shout out Russell, because every time he shows up, he walks in with a cane.
Yeah.
Old as hell.
Right.
But like every time he sees me, he starts chatting me up.
Nice.
And he's just like, "Hey, what's up?" And like shakes my hand. I'm like,
Yeah.
hi, like you don't
going
know
on,
my
Russ?
name, but it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Mhm.
And like he's like walking around the gym. He's using his cane to like pick up like the stools to
Mhm.
like help him like work with like other weights and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
Russell is the guy, man.
Yeah.
Like this is like I'm so inspired by people that are willing to give things a try
Mhm.
and like to not dedicate themselves to it. Like a lot of these people aren't doing this every day, and
Yeah.
nor should they. Like I've found my schedule and it's 3 times a week.
Yeah.
But like seeing people get to the gym, and when I go on those 3 days and I see the other people that are there too,
Mhm.
and I'm like, hey, I recognize you from last week.
Yeah.
Let's go, bro.
That's when the gym starts getting fun, is when it's like you see other people also showing up.
Yes.
And then you're like,
Even though I don't talk to them.
yeah, you
and I
don't
always
even
feel
see-
guilty
you
for not
notice-
talking to them.
Yeah, you notice their faces, and it's like, if this person can show up as much as they do, why shouldn't I?
Yeah,
I guess
absolutely.
it gets me hyped when I see that.
It gets me so hyped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, seeing new people, and then yeah, I guess those are the biggest motivators. Is just I don't know.
Oh, another motivator that I love
Go for it.
is the like side by side comparisons that you see online.
Yeah.
I love
Before
those.
and afters.
Yeah, the before and
especially when you see
afters.
someone like same build as you
Yeah.
do it. Like I've seen like scrawny or taller guys be like, "This is what I used to look like quite a few years ago," and
Mhm.
then it was like now they're like, "Wow."
And they get the
Yeah.
whole you get the whole training montage and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh man, I love that
those.
shit.
Mhm.
Honestly, yeah, I saw one on Instagram the other day where it was like these 2 bigger guys, and they were like struggling to get through their exercise at first, and then like you end the video, it's like those aren't the same people. Like they look completely
Yeah.
different.
And
I'm
they
just like,
look-
that's insane. That's dedication and hard work,
They
man.
look healthier. They look happier. A lot of
Happier.
The time, and
I
it's-
think
yeah.
like that's such a great point. Is that like I showed you guys earlier, but like
Mhm.
there's the like the side by side of my 2 licenses. I finally got a new license,
Yeah.
like to reflect my new address.
Mhm.
And it's like I looked back at the other one. I'm like, man, I look so not happy in that first
Yeah.
one. But like I look way like fuller now, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like I look better. I
Yeah.
look better. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in like a oh man, look at me, Adonis. You know, it's like
Yeah.
more like just happier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fulfilled.
It's good shit. It's good shit.
It's always good shit.
It's always good shit. Guys, you both inspire me. I'm so glad that like we got to
Thank
talk
you.
about the gym. We get to like work on ourselves collectively.
I want to go to the
Collectively,
gym now.
Yeah, and I hope that this podcast kind of like encourages people to be like, yeah, there's barriers, man.
100%.
Absolutely, everybody's got barriers.
Everything's got barriers. in it.
Everything's got barriers.
The
It's
gym's got a lot sometimes. But
it's just walking through those barriers though.
that's the biggest part, is getting through them.
Yeah.
If you can get through them, you can do anything. I
You
think
can
that's
do
why
anything.
a lot of maybe not all successful people, but a lot of successful people are able do go to the gym or do like our buffer, I guess you could say, is because they've going to the gym trains you to overcome challenges.
Yeah.
So it's like those people, if you can go get through those challenges, and I think you look at yourself and you're like, I can fucking do it all. Then
I would
Fuck it.
call a dedication trainer.
I think so.
In that like, hey, I'd like to improve myself in any aspect, mental,
Mhm.
physical, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
One of my prime motivators was I went to visit Jordan back in 2020.
Right.
We're climbing up this mountain, and
I
I'm
remember
fucking sucking air, and I am dying. Jordan's already scampered her way up, and she's waiting for me. I'm like, no way, bro.
It's like, how'd you do that?
How'd you do that? And so when I started jogging back last fall, I was like, oh, yeah, this is kind of my motivator. If I want to go visit Jordan again, which I'm doing at the end of this month,
Yeah.
I want to be able to keep up with her.
Yeah.
Even though I won't, because she's dedicated.
Yeah.
But I'll stand a better chance now, and I'm excited for that. Like
Yeah.
when you and I went, when I say you and I always refer to the person with my hand, and I forget that this is a podcast. Noah, when
Yes.
you and I hit up rock climbing,
Yes.
that was very much a situation where I was like, I'm so glad I've been working out, because otherwise this would have been a situation where I would have been like, guys, I don't know how much more I can do.
Right.
I would have been exhausted.
Mhm.
Dude, I love that rock climbing. That was
I
so much fun.
loved rock climbing.
Rock climbing's a lot of fun.
Oh,
also
it's so
works
much fun.
muscles you didn't even know you had.
Bro, I was so tired the
Yeah.
next day.
You want
And
to
then,
get a buff back? Do rock climbing.
yeah, man. Or
I wish we
forearms.
had-
Forearms.
Holy.
I wish we had a rock climbing
Me too.
Would be nice.
place here.
Let's
Could
move to
get
Winnipeg. All 3 of us. Let's do it.
Let's go
Guys,
to Winnipeg.
commit.
Hey.
Commit right now.
Let's build one. Let's build one here.
No. Commit.
Hey, there's one at Albert's, man. Don't.
Oh yeah.
I've never tried it.
Neither have I.
I don't know. I think it's just a tower they threw up.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey,
I don't like
rock
those.
climbing.
I don't know about those towers because then it
Yeah.
like flashback to we talked about last week or last 2 weeks. Like you
Like-
gotta say a prayer before you come down from the rock. Noah's looking at that wall. Noah's looking at that wall like, yo, I gotta get that award, bro.
Yeah, I could
Gotta
do
get
that in
that
15
done.
seconds.
Yes. We'll get this down to milliseconds. Guys, thanks so much for talking about the gym with me. It's a fun conversation. I'm so glad that like our conversations, and I'm not like tooting our horn or anything, but it's like I'm so glad that our conversations aren't surface level. Like I put in the script, I was very much like, I do not want gym bro talk. I do not want like something super shallow of like, yeah man, and then like I hit 220 and I was like, fuck yeah, you know, like
we just gotta get in there and get it done.
yeah,
Just do it.
I don't want any NHL talk. I really don't.
I get what
Like,
you're saying. I get what you're saying.
so I'm really, really glad that we had this conversation. So, with all that said, let's get out of here.
Bust a move on it.
Let's
Hit the gym.
Hit the gym. A couple thank yous. Daniel Mosionier. Guess what? He's out there. He's grinding. He's making music.
He sure is.
He sure is, and he's playing it right now.
Oh,
Oh,
do that?
oh,
Do you that?
oh. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ad lib in a song I don't know. You can hear.
Obviously, thank you, Dan, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate you editing our podcast. By the way, the next episode that you hear after this is number 50, baby.
50.
Woo! We have a couple plans. Dan and we have a meeting on Thursday to discuss like some fun things that I want to keep secret from you guys. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
We get a little treat.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Thank you to Creation Nation Makerspace. They're making stuff, they're creating, and you can check it out on our Facebook. Not in our Facebook, but their Facebook, which is in the description below. And thank you to the viewer/listener. Consistent numbers lately on the episodes. They're not the spikes that they were when we returned, but they're consistent. Like like they'll start off at 20s ish, then we're bumping up to 35s.
Hey man, that's what
per
it's
episode.
all about. Consistency.
It's about consistency, bro, and that's gym, that's life, that's podcast. That's all my life is, you know.
It's like a
Gym Life Podcast.
Gym life podcast.
It's like a live, laugh, love sign.
Yeah, exactly. For like the white male. Guys, thanks so much for listening, and I think that's it. I think we'll call it a podcast with that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I think it's a podcast.
Yeah, I'll call it a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I
made
think
one
so.
of those just now. Did we make one of those right now?
I think we did. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.
See you guys.
See ya.
So anyways, I says to her, I said,
So how much you bet, man?